opinions expressed on The Edge are not necessarily those of this radio station, its staff, management, or other sponsors. It's time for The Edge radio broadcast as we discover the truth together. Within the continental U.S., call toll-free 1-800-996-9638 or click on the Fast Blast link on the Edge broadcast website. That's toll-free 1-800-996-9638 or click on the Fast Blast link on the Edge broadcast website. You can find out more about our guests and topics by logging onto the Edge's website at theedgeam.com. That's theedgeam.com.
Thursdays on the Edge.
Well, DNA, it's natural. It's the building block of life. And when the good Lord put it together, I think He did it up right. He made lots of different organisms, a complex web of life. Each one depended on another, and so the circle it closed up tight. But then along came a man and a microscope, and he separated the genes. And when he put them all back together, he made lots of strange, unnatural things. And now food crops grow on the ocean floor, cows, they grow on trees. Now the ranchers gaze while their oysters graze on grass that depends on a hormone spray. In our genetically modified world, in our genetically modified world. Now the corporations, they will tell you it's about feeding people in need. But it isn't really very hard to see that it's really just about corporate greed. They patent the food in the third world, and then they watch their profits grow. And the third world people can't say no, they're being blackmailed by the WTO. And now their food crops grow on the ocean floor, cows, they grow on trees. Now the ranchers gaze while their oysters graze on grass that depends on a hormone spray. In our genetically modified world, in our genetically modified world. Corporation's own creation. With who shall we worship then? With the First United Church of Syngenta or Monsanto of the Nazarene? Of course we'll always have the Taoists, but they're now D-O-W Dow. They'll be popular with all except the population of Bhopal, because their chickens now only lay export crops. The sacred cows grow on trees. Now the ranchers gaze while their oysters graze on grass that depends on a hormone spray that travels down the river into the bay, where it bioaccumulates every day till our ecosystem's in decay. In our genetically modified world, in our genetically modified world, in our genetically modified world, in our genetically
Hello, my name is Andy Radford, and this is the Edge's Thursday show, coming from the Edge's UK studio. The opening song you just heard was called Genetically Modified World, written by Brian, who has a YouTube account. You can find Brian's material if you go to YouTube and type in Nature Sprite in the search criteria there. That's Nature Sprite, N-A-T-U-R-E-S-P-R-I-T-E. Nature Sprite on YouTube. I will place a link to this on the Edges Thursday page, and I'd like to thank Brian very much indeed for allowing me to play his video and song here on the Edges Thursday show. On the show this week, the Olympic torch runs the gauntlet throughout the world of protests against human rights abuses in China and Tibet. Chemical plant accidents. Residents living close to these factories are under the threat of a major accident every day. I take a brief look into this and explain something about our chemical plant here in Kevin-Mawer, North Wales. And I ask the question, why are innocent people subjected to the threat of a major chemical plant accident when they have absolutely nothing whatsoever to do with the running of the chemical plant? They do not get paid by the plant, and they do not make a profit from the plant. Also on the show, Edge correspondent Gina Romano continues her campaign and investigations into organised gang stalking against innocent populations in the United States of America and the world over. The Edges Thursday show is the show for the listener, and if you go to the Edges homepage at www.theedgean.com and just look under our main TV player, you will see the link to submit your material. You can give us audio, written copy, your song or a prose. We will play them for you on the Edge television broadcast. Why not get involved with the Edges Forum? You'll find the link to this from the Edges homepage. Here you can state an opinion and view, and we don't mind if you agree or disagree with the guest or host. All we look for is intellectual discussion. Why not add your information to the new Edgepedia? You can find the link to this from the Edges homepage. We are hoping to build a vast database of all the subjects the Edge television broadcast covers. Now that's from aliens, politics, pollution and health, religion, spirituality, in fact, everything. If you have an important news story, just go to the Edges news page. A link to this can be found again on the home page. When you're at the news page, just look for the link News Hotline. If you click this, you'll be able to send an email to the Edges editorial news desk. And why not become a voluntary Edge correspondent? Again, under the Edges main media player on the homepage at www.theedgean.com, you will see the link We Are Looking for Correspondents. Now here's the update on the Olympic torch as it makes its way through over 20 countries. As the Olympic torch makes its way through around 20 countries around the world in the run-up to the Beijing Olympics in China this year, it faces mass protests from campaign groups, individuals, human rights protesters because of the abuses in China and Tibet. In recent years, the only other event that has caused this amount of mass protest around the world was the run-up to the Iraq War before the Allies invaded Saddam Hussein's country. As veteran Olympians carry a torch which is supposed to epitomize freedom, peace, friendship and cooperation, they run the gauntlet of mass protesters through most of the countries this torch has appeared in. The Olympic ethos is supposed to stand for worldwide peace. Yet, as this torch makes its way through cities and towns throughout the world, this ethos of the Olympic Committee is slowly being shown up for what it really is. When it comes to the crunch, and when the chips are blatantly laid on the table, the Olympic Committee has been shown to be weak and hypocritical. If events aren't sorted out correctly now, and the abuses continue throughout the entire Olympic Games this summer, this Olympic Games could be seen to be the worst in history.